Now that the Saints have fired Dennis Allen, where do they go to next? As a Saints fan, this is what I think we should do next. First off, we should let Derek Carr know that he's no longer needed here. I think he has been a problem. I was very optimistic when he came in 2 years ago. We signed him to that 3-year, $150 million deal. I was like, okay, this is the quarterback of the future. This is where we go from here. He's not that guy. He is not the guy that we need him to be. We lost to the Carolina Panthers yesterday. They're one of the worst teams in the NFL. We have injuries. I understand that they have injuries. I understand that as well. But we couldn't even get the ball done. They had zero takeovers or turnovers, and we are so bad. We're such a bad football team. I'm just frustrated to watch this. So I would say that's the first problem. Get Derek Carr gone. Should we trade Marshawn Lattimore? He's taking 30-something million in cap next year. Cesar Ruiz, some of those guys, Ryan Ramczyk, these guys, they're taking a total of, I think, like $80 million in cap space. What do we do with those guys? Do we get them gone? Do we trade them or not? Should we sit and wait? I don't know. I'll let y'all decide. But at this point in my life, get Derek Carr gone. Dennis Allen was the problem. He's gone now, thankfully. I think going into this offseason where I think we're like $65 million in cap space negative, that's one of the least amount of money we've had negative in a long time. So that sets us up to hopefully make some moves and figure some things out. Do we make some trades at the trade deadline tomorrow? Potentially, I don't know. But regardless, this has been a day of sanctification. This took long enough for the Saints to do. I'm glad it's finally happened. Where do we go to next is the biggest question mark. I'm looking at the roster. I'm looking at the schedule. I think we tank. I think we tank for a quarterback in the draft in the first round. We also draft a receiver in the third round next year in the draft. But we need to develop more of a lot. We need another receiver. We need a real number one receiver. No disrespect to Chris Olave. I know he went out yesterday, but no disrespect to him. But he's not a number one receiver. He's a strong number two that could lead into number one receiver. But he's not a number one. We need someone, but we don't have any cap space, so we have to go draft a big 6'7" receiver that can propel us into until stardom at one point. But we need to be a lot better when it comes to the offense. Our offense is so one-dimensional. Taysom Hill went out in week 2, and then it just went and crashed and burns. We should have beat Philly. We should have beat the Falcons in week 2 or week 3 and 4, but we lost. And we lost those games because of coaching. That problem is now gone. Now, how do we solve our other problems? How do we get better? How do we get to the future? Do we rebuild right now? Do we start over from scratch? I don't think so. I think we have enough to build on at this foundation right now when it comes to secondary, when it comes to the offensive production. But this team needs to be fixed. This team needs to want to be fixed right now, and hopefully a new head coach comes in here next year in the fall and can really figure out. Do we go get Robert Salah for defense coordinator potentially? Do we hopefully get Ben Johnson if they win a Super Bowl if he wins a Super Bowl with the Lions? I think he easily fits in to the Saints head coaching job. But let me know what y'all think the Saints should do next.